大家严格遵守自我管理规定，自律到水外出，不开车内不提醒，不进入公共场所、公共区域，做到从不出入，对警察配合照办。
Wow. Yes, that's in China. Yes, that's a police drone. Yes, it's telling people to lock down and not go outside for their safety. And yes, it's coming to the United States if we keep going in this same direction. Welcome back, beautiful and amazing human beings. My name's Luke Radowski here of WeAreChange.org, and we got a plethora of just absolutely censorious and scamming news to get into today, as it looks like some very shady things were going on with FTX, Ukraine, the Biden administration, and of course the corporate media establishment that has set up a ruse, which now they're trying to use as a form of empowering themselves, using it as an excuse, as a justification for more power, more control over your life. We're going to be talking about this very complicated situation, as well as the very dismal future for Republicans in this country. This, as it sure looks like we're going to have a lot of debt in the United States. We're going to be talking about that, plus a lot more. If you like the shirt that I'm wearing, you can get it on thebestpoliticalshirts.com. And the clip that we played in the beginning of this broadcast is by Songpinganq on Twitter. We're going to just write that down in the description below. Allegedly showing Hangzhou City in Shanxi province in China yesterday as a police drone was barking out orders at their constituents living in high-rise buildings in China during yet another lockdown that clearly has no benefit for anyone's health, but greatly benefits a technocratic, totalitarian big government that, of course, uses it as an excuse to destroy, of course, the human spirit and will. And in related technocratic hellscape news, we have the latest news from FTX, a major crypto exchange that is going under. This as some really shady ties between the company, the Democratic establishment, Ukraine, and other shady partners in the Caribbean are being revealed right now. All of this as we're finding out today that the FTX founder and two senior executives right now are, quote, under observation, held up in a luxurious Bahamas resort as they're allegedly plotting their escape to Dubai that doesn't have an extradition treaty with the United States. This as we're hearing the U.S. Department of Justice might be plotting an investigation into FTX, which a lot of people are skeptical of, as of course FTX and its founder Sam Fried have been bankrolling money that is now missing from people's accounts into the coffers of the Democratic political party establishment that has used it to win this midterm election to the tune of tens of millions of dollars. Now that's a lot of protection money, and when you give government that much money, particularly the government and the political party in charge right now, the possibilities of you being, investigated or held responsible for your crimes is very low, as of course Sam Fried became the second largest donor to the Democratic Party, other than another individual that we can't even mention here, as of course he also previously pledged $1 billion of support to the Democrats, and on record he gave a $40 million check to the Democrats that we know of, as of course it's also important to note that there are many other ways to funnel money to politicians that of course are secure, secret, non-transparent, that of course could have potentially happened here. This as the New York Post is reporting today that there's almost $2 billion in client money missing from FTX. This as the Daily Mail is reporting that $515 million was just stolen from the exchange just in a matter of hours, as of course this Ponzi scheme was exposed, and as soon as it was, there's allegedly hackers that stole more money from them. Was it hackers? Was it an inside job? Or was it some people tied to the establishment or current ruling government that were just taking out their money, as of course the average citizen there, the average customer, is now being screwed? Again, we don't have any official answers to this. We have some speculation to what's happening here. We're going to be getting into that in just a little bit. But for $515 million to be allegedly stolen, this as already the company was specifically caught not having clients' money, spending it wildly as they were funneling money into the Democratic Party, as they partnered with the Ukrainian government that was using their platform as a way to funnel money in and out of Ukraine with the National Bank of Ukraine, a corrupted country known for politicians that absolutely have no morals and will screw the general population over for any kind of money. My goodness, golly gracious, you right there have a massive conspiracy underway that's being unfolded right now that we still know very little about, but with the players involved here, you could bet your bottom dollar there's some absolute foul play, as the average pleb, as the average user, as the average customer is going to be left holding the bag with their money stolen, as powerful people commit yet another scam and fraud on innocent human beings, essentially stealing and robbing their money, all for the larger Ponzi scheme that was happening here. This, as of course, amateurs are left trying to track down what actually happened to the money. Allegedly, the FBI is involved here, which means there's going to be a situation ripe for corruption, as of course the Federal Bureau of Investigations is not known for their ethical practices. Now, who's this hacker that stole this money from clients of this company that were being defrauded? Well, I think it's pretty fair to say it could be Sam himself, which is a very likely scenario. It could be the Democrats that were promised $1 billion, or it could be someone in the Bank of Ukraine that was working with the organization, partnering with them, as now many people are believing and are theorizing that the money from the crypto exchange was used to funnel money into the Democrats. The Democrats were funneling money to Ukraine, which was funneling money through the exchange, which was funneling money to the Democrats, which was funneling money to Ukraine. Do you get what I'm trying to explain here? All of this, as the Gateway Pundit now is reporting, that tens of billions of US dollars were transferred to Ukraine, and then through FTX, the funds were laundered back to Democrats inside of the United States. This allegedly, according to an article by Joe Hoft. This, as personally, I would want to see more evidence of this claim myself, but it's not an absurd theory, as of course all the major players were involved here. Now, other people are even going further with their own theories about what was happening here, which I'm going to be talking about tomorrow on an episode of LukeUncensored.com. I'll save this particular topic just for that reason, as of course we have to remember here that FTX was promoted by the top YouTubers like Nash Daily. Jim Cramer of Mad Money on CNBC called him the next new JP Morgan. Nasir Yassan even called him the most generous man in the world.
His goal as a human is to make as much money as possible. Next year, he's planning to donate $500 million a year. And he is funding everything you can think of. Global warming.
It's one of the biggest problems that we have to tackle together as a world. We have to be ready for the next pandemic. Animals deserve to live just like we do. It's also why I'm vegan.
He has money to buy politicians so he can evade justice and do money laundering for really bad people. Essentially, that's what should have been said, but it wasn't, as it wasn't just popular YouTubers that shilled for this man. It was also some of the biggest politicians in our landscape right now, including, of course, war criminals like Tony Blair and private island lovers like Bill Clinton that, of course, appeared and partnered and worked with and promoted this man to the general public, as of course FTX was even a partner with the World Economic Forum, as his mother, Barbara Fried, was the co-founder of some of the biggest political super PACs that were predominantly donating to Democrats in this country. FTX became an overnight success, as his mother was literally one of the main people filling the coffers of the Democratic Party establishment. And with the corporate media, shill YouTubers, former presidents of the United States, the World Economic Forum, partners with the Ukrainian National Bank, they shilled and sold this fraud to innocent human beings that are now being robbed of their money. And now on top of all of this, they have the balls to say this Ponzi scheme, which they had a major hand in playing into, is something that needs to be stopped with more government intervention and regulations of the crypto space. Yes, Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen, former big Federal Reserve banker, is using this event as a perfect problem reaction solution Hegelian dialectic engineered to specifically create a government that has more control over your life. As today, even the White House announced similar plans, saying this specifically.
Most recent news further underscores these concerns and highlights why prudent regulation of cryptocurrencies is indeed needed. The White House, along with the relevant agencies, will again closely monitor the situation as it develops.
And as that lady carefully read the script she was given and told to regurgitate to the general public, this seems like a perfect example of a problem engineered by government, the central controllers, and the establishment as a way, at the end of the day, to give them more power and authority over your lives. There's a reason I told you those police helicopters are coming here to the United States, and a technocratic hellscape could be envisioned in many different ways. And I think this way is definitely one way that they're doing this. The people who are a part of this scam, the people who robbed people of their money, should be sick and ashamed of themselves. And whether it's a Tom Brady commercial, shill YouTubers, media personalities, politicians, international globalist organizations, they all played a role in this, and they absolutely deserved to be called out. Will they? Well, that's another story in itself. I hope so. But in the meantime, as we're being encircled by a technocratic hellscape in a virtual gulag prison where we can't express ideas, this is why I started, by the way, thebestpoliticalshirts.com. We just released a shirt that's definitely going to be getting a lot of attention, and it's an idea that I've been putting out there for a very long time now that has also been cheered on by Michael Malice, Milo, MSNBC, an idea that I personally want to take credit for since I was the first one to call it out, and that is, of course, the Biden-Fetterman 2024 campaign ticket for this upcoming presidential election, which I'm calling a no-brainer. That was actually a super chat that actually mentioned that, so shouts out to that super chatter, but this is an idea that still cannot be censored in our digital gulag. Well, why? Because you could get a t-shirt of it, and that t-shirt helps spread ideas that you cannot spread on big tech social media. There's other shirts that we cannot show you on this platform. We also have a whole bunch of new Christmas wear for this holiday season, like this one of Joe Biden saying Happy Easter, Klaus Schwab saying you will get no presents and you will be happy, and that you're totally blank and ready to talk about politics at Christmas. What's that blank? What are we talking about? Well, you're just going to have to see the shirts on thebestpoliticalshirts.com, and because you do, this is why we are here. We get financed by you guys buying the t-shirts, and boy, do we have a lot of them. You name it, we got it. Homeware, accessories, apparel, hats, whatever you may think we got it, plus a lot more, with specific shirts meant to, of course, start conversations, make friends, and find other like-minded human beings in your local neighborhoods, at the supermarket, at your bank, at your local store, wherever it may be. This is one of the best ways to meet people, say hi to them, but also, more importantly, get people to think and show everyone that they are not alone when it comes to the larger discontent at the society that we are all facing. Thebestpoliticalshirts.com. You haven't bought a shirt yet. What are you waiting for? Click the link down in the description below and get one yourself before all hell breaks loose and the dollar is devalued to where it has no purchasing power at all, which probably will be happening soon, as of course Janet Yellen, who now wants to regulate crypto, also just came out urging Congress to raise the debt ceiling. This, of course, is also similar statements ushered by Nancy Pelosi that has called for similar things, all, of course, as they're speaking in unison from the same script. Higher debt, more money being printed, more money being spent, and more of that money being devalued and your wealth just being utterly destroyed. So yeah, that's the future. I wanted to say more about this, but I'm going to have to save this particular topic as well as what's happening in the Senate and Congress for tomorrow's video. So if you guys haven't subscribed yet and you're not hitting that notification button, what are you doing? Click on it. I've been here for over 15 plus years making these videos for you, and I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for you guys, and this is why I love you guys. Stay tuned for more here on wearechange.org. Get a shirt on thebestpoliticalshirts.com.